the room, so they didn't come.
Okay.
Arun, can you just check where is Lalit? Deep, can you just check where is Bipin? Yeah, please,
Okay, okay.
guys. So I'll start, and but I will not start the topic. So, guys, uh, before I start today's session, I want to ask all of you all a few questions. Okay, anyone can answer. There is no right or wrong answer. Grey Rose, where is Angelica?
Internet problem.
Okay. So, guys, are we all supervisors?
No.
No?
No.
Yes? No? Okay, so those who are not supervisors can leave this meeting. This meet is only for supervisors. But
Seriously?
we are all supervisors, right?
I think
Yes,
I
no?
think we all,
Or you think maybe?
because
Yes.
we all have a team.
So, what is one of the most important roles of a supervisor?
Being a
Supervisor
leader.
is leader, yeah.
Maintain the team.
Very
Yeah,
good, Deepak.
yes.
And
Escalating issues.
resolving issues, not creating
Yeah.
issues.
Escalating issues.
Lead,
Escalating issues.
Accelerating,
that-
right? Creating
lead,
issues.
lead the team, motivate them.
Okay.
Always motivate them.
So most of you all have given me, leading team, leading team, leading team. So let me ask you, what is a team?
Group of
Team is
Group
group
of
of people
Group of persons.
A
Yeah.
group of
Hired
people.
Okay,
who
a
have
team
one
is
goal.
a group of people.
Group of independent individuals.
Very good, Deep. A group of individuals, different individuals.
Who have one
So
goal.
what do you think is common in a group of individuals?
it is a skill on the behalf
Okay,
goal.
different level
A
skills
goal.
and
A goal.
a goal. Okay, so that are common things in a group. What is the different thing in a group?
Every person have different skill.
Very good. Everyone has a different skill and everybody
Different
has
attitude.
a different personalities.
Yes.
of course.
Everybody has a different mindset. Everyone has different
Goals.
goals. No, everyone has
No,
common goals. A team has the
same
same
goals
goal.
ahead team.
Everybody is different.
Correct.
So as a leader or as a supervisor, do you think that the supervisor or you have to have different methods of working with the different individuals in your team, or should you
Yes,
have
I
just
think.
one method of working with everybody?
One method.
All those who say one method, raise your hands up. So I should be like, if one person is naughty and I'm strict with him, I have to be strict with everybody in the team.
No, no.
No,
We
I
have
don't
to
think
use
so.
the different approach for the different every individual.
Yes.
Exactly. Very good. Very good, Deep. So a leader or a person who runs a team, a supervisor, has to have different approach. What is the best part of having different approaches? Now think about this. I go to a restaurant. I go to Jollibee. Okay. I go to Jollibee. Or I go to a restaurant. Mikhail, you having a headache?
No.
You're
I'm
feeling
just
cold, right? You're in the
thinking.
mountains. So
Yeah.
you go to a restaurant, you go to Jollibee, you're standing in the line, your turn comes, you see the menu. Now you're indecisive. You cannot make up your mind. Shall I have a burger? Shall I have fried chicken? Shall I have pizza? Shall I have nuggets?
Oh,
Shall I
come on,
have
stop
fried
talking
rice?
about food.
I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry
So
now.
what do you do?
I'm also.
What do you do?
I'll choose fried
You can't
chicken.
make up your mind. What do you do?
No,
I order everything.
Very good. You'll order everything. And once you eat everything, what will happen to you?
Bill.
You are happy. You are happy once you eat
Yes.
everything.
Okay,
you
you are happy at the moment, but what will happen
several
later on?
minutes
My
only.
tummy happy.
Your tummy is happy and your tummy will pain later.
Yeah.
Mm.
You'll have indigestion,
After
you'll have to
that,
go to the
doctor happy.
toilet, you will vomit. So, indecisiveness, or if you can't make up your mind, or you can't come to a decision, you can't make a choice, can lead you towards something which is not healthy. Okay, a person like me may eat everything. A fat man like me can eat everything. Then after that, I will pop up a digestion pill and I'll start it down. But is that good? Is that healthy? No.
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 So there are actions and there are consequences. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is situations. Now, what is the situation that led me to indigestion? I was indecisive and I could not eat, digest all that I could not make a decision about. Similarly, in life, there is, and in your personal life or in your work life, there would be times as supervisors that you are indecisive or you're not sure about your decisions because you have many people in your team. How do you deal with each of them? Do you deal with them simultaneously or do you deal with them individually? So there are decisions, decisions, decisions. A leader, a good leader is he or she who takes timely decisions. One of the most important things that a team looks up to a leader is making timely decisions. Because believe me, there are times when leaders or supervisors are not able to take timely decisions. You need to take decisions, and those decisions have to be critical or important or fruitful to the business. You'll have different situations, you'll have different team members, you'll have different opportunities. Remember, a couple of days back, we talked about SWOT, SWOT. Those are different situations: strength, weakness, opportunity, strength, threats. So these are all different opportunities. These are different situations. Some decisions or some opportunities may be good. Some opportunities may be difficult for you to handle. You have to be, as a leader, you have to be fluid enough. You have to be transparent enough. You have to be maneuverable enough. You have to be as understanding, as malleable as water. That is one of the reasons why there are theories of what decision makings or what personalities or what different roles a leader must don or what different type of responsibilities or different type of positions in their team that they have to have. So today's topic is not my topic. It is a topic which is a very famous, uh, you could say, management philosophy that is rolled across the world. It is called, can anybody guess it? Anyone? Can anybody guess what is today's topic?
Business communication.
Let the drum beats lead. It is called Six Thinking Hats.
Mhm.
Can everybody see the screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's called Six Thinking Hats. Give me 1 minute. Let me start the slideshow. Can you see it, guys?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Abid. Yes,
Yeah.
Abid.
So there's 1 hat, 2 hat, 3 hat, 4 hat, 5 hat, and 6 hats. Have you seen in a circus that there are clowns or there are performers? They are those people, who juggle hats on their head.
Yes.
What is the most
Yes.
important thing about a juggler at that time? He has to don many hats. He's got to juggle a lot of balls or whatever items he has in order to create a show or a perfect entertainment for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, supervisors have to juggle a lot of things at one time. They have to make reports. They have to take care of the team. There are absenteeism. There are
Mhm.
shrinkage method. There are quality roles. There are assessment roles. They've got to do a
Mhm.
lot of things together.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comparatively, supervisor trainers also have to juggle a lot of things, but it's much less stringent. Now, while you're juggling a lot of activities or roles as a supervisor, there are times that you have to think rationally, you have to think correctly, think in line with the business, so that business is profitable and there are no disturbances in your team, there is no loss to the business, and there's a lot of other things which go around. So a gentleman called Edward de Bono, a psychologist, came up with a concept called 6 thinking hats. A couple of days back, I talked to you about a concept called how to win friends and influence people. That was personality development type.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Dale Carnegie.
Yes, I know. I
Remember, Georgi? You read.
I
You
read
showed
it.
me
I read
the.
it. This book.
So similarly, Edward de Bono, he's not Bono of the group U2. Okay, I still haven't thought this gentleman is a Spanish gentleman. He's a
Why?
European gentleman. So psychologists usually think about philosophies and methodologies to help lives. So he came up with the concept of how thinking positively and positive thinking and methodically thinking in the lives of supervisors can be beneficial to them. So that's the reason why he came up with the concept called 6 different colored hats. Now in the previous screen we saw 6 colors. Can anybody remember the colors? Gross, can you
Yellow,
remember
One
the
is
colors?
black,
Green, black,
yellow, blue,
Blue.
black,
yellow,
green,
Hmm.
yellow, green, blue,
purple,
black.
Okay.
blue, black. Yeah.
Nobody said red.
Oh yeah, you read.
And white.
White, red,
And
yellow,
white.
blue, black. I think.
So these 6 different colors are 6 methods of thinking, 6 different cores of thinking. You know, there are as a supervisor, as a human being, you will feel different types of emotions. In India, we call it the now rasas, the different 9 emotions. There is anger, there is astonishment, there is happiness, there is shyness. Abid, can you think about the rest?
Um,
I've said
Anger.
4. Can anybody tell me the rest of the 5?
Happiness.
Happiness, I've already said.
Sorrow.
There is greed.
Benefit.
A supervisor, to one extent, has to be a little bit greedy. How many of you have heard of this name, Gordon Gekko? There was a movie called Wall Street. This is something which Owen and I have always used this term, Gordon Gekko. So Gordon Gekko is a Street businessman. And in one of his speeches to a very big audience, he says, greed is good. And in today's time, people and gurus, they say that greed is good. But what type of greed? It's not greed for food. It's not greed for wealth, but greed for growth. But there are many concepts. We'll talk about it later.
Need to learn.
So there are 6 methodologies of thinking. There are 6 color hats. And let's start off learning the concept behind them. Give me a minute. The first one is the white hat. It's based on facts. What does white, the color, represent, team?
Peace.
Okay,
Peace.
very good.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.
Peace and
Peace, honesty,
honesty.
truthful.
Abid, you said
Clean.
something, we didn't hear it.
Harmony.
White is neutral.
Harmony,
White is
very good.
neutral.
It also represents, it shows us Sri Devi dancing in the mountains. It's also purity, very
Pure,
important.
yes.
Red is the color of feelings and emotions. According to Feng Shui, the Chinese ancient art, red is the color of emotions. They, according to Feng Shui, your bedroom has to be red in color. That's one of the reasons why if you see any Chinese characters, they're usually red in color. According to some cultures, red represents blood. But it's not that way. Red is also the color of emotions. It's the color of your feelings. I'm not sure about you guys if you know it or not, but there are some, there's a science which is called, they read your aura. It's like Reiki. It's an alternative science. So what the aura reader does is makes you stand behind a white curtain or a wall. They portray light on you, and the kind of reflection that comes out from you or of your shadow, they read your aura. It's called aura reading. So based on that, they describe what type of a personality you are. What are the emotions that you're going through? Red is a positive color. It's not a negative color according to some people. But black, according to some people, black is. Why? Black represents death in many cultures.
Yes.
So black is a sign of, be careful.
End.
Black is the sign of ending. Black is the sign of problems. Where in mostly you when you see the color black, you are a little apprehensive. You stop for a second. You get cautious. So black is the color of the problems that may come up. Yellow, according to some, yellow is a very good sign. It's the sign of flowers. It's the sign of flowers. It's the sign of benefits. It's the sign of growth. Green, I have never seen a hospital which does not have green color in it.
Relaxing. It is very relaxing.
It's a color that promotes growth. It promotes you to think. It helps you. It creates a positivity in you. It generates new ideas. And blue, they say that blue is the color of happiness. The blue is the color of the future. Blue is the color of getting things in your hand. What is the color of the sky?
Blue.
Blue. Yeah.
What is the color of the earth?
Blue.
Blue.
No.
Which
Blue.
earth are you
Blue and
guys?
Blue.
Which earth are you guys from? Are you guys from Mars or something else?
Ah,
Mars
okay.
is
Either
red.
yellow or it's either yellow or green.
Yeah.
You
It's
see
blue.
greenness, greenery, vegetation, vegetables, trees. It's green. Blue color earth. Abid and Grey Rose. Where are you from? I don't know. So let's talk a little bit more methodologies or the different aspects of the hats. Can somebody read this for me?
Identify, communicating. Identify
Okay, you read
and
it.
Arun, go ahead.
You. Okay, bye.
Abid, start. You started it, so you go ahead.
Identifying and communicating all of the relevant data and facts, and to gather the necessary missing data for any project, problem, decision, concern, or opportunity in order to arrive at a sound conclusion.
One of the actions that a leader has to do is to depend upon data. Now, if I'll give you an example in your day-to-day lives. We have dip checks that are being conducted. Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
probably for Georgi, dip checks doesn't happen. That's why Georgi is silent.
No.
We have dip checks happening. That's data.
Yes, of course.
That's
Oh.
data. Is that data? Is it good data or is it bad data?
It is good,
Okay.
but it can't be. Mm, but it is not enough to manage whole situation, you know. But it's good for all of us, editors or
Okay.
trainers.
So when you have the data, Deep.
Yeah.
What should the data? What should you do with the data? What should the supervisor do with the data?
We can find the things that whose performance is goes down and who is performing well.
That's okay. That is what it tells you. What should you or what should everybody in the screen as a supervisor do once you have the data?
We can identify the persons which we want to think that we have to give more time to him or her.
And
Okay.
what do you do with those data? So it's on the screen there. You identify
Identify and
them,
communicate it. Yeah.
and then you
Uh,
communicate, and then
Yeah, with the editors and solve
then?
their problem and do the decision what they want.
Uh-huh.
Very good. I like
You
that
make
word.
a decision. Mhm.
Decision.
Yeah.
Very important word, decision. Why is decision an important word? Mikhail,
Yeah. So why is the decision important? It was
why
a
is
question.
decision, why is a supervisor's decision important?
Because it influences on the individual and
Very
on
good.
the team also, and mm, all the organization.
Very good. It is one particular aspect. Very well said.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
Abid, Sayal, I just want to draw attention that we have 18 minutes left.
18 minutes?
Yes.
We have half an hour, 36 minutes, 115, 215. This is a 1 hour session.
1 hour session. Okay, I thought it's 45
Okay.
minutes. Sorry.
No,
You're
no,
right.
it's 1 hour session.
Okay, good.
Can I say something in this one? Like if
Please.
if a correct decision has been taken,
Mm-hmm.
we can resolve many issues from the organization.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when if a incorrect decision is taken?
It will
Abid,
increase.
Darshan,
It will again lead to-
everyone should answer, guys. This is these sessions are for everybody. Abid, what if an incorrect decision is taken? What happens?
It will, first of all, it will give us the idea of not to repeating it. Secondly, it may also lead to some tragic ends.
Very good conclusion.
Yeah.
They are words. Remember, in all the presentations, they are always leading words. You have to go through the slides. You've got to understand them. That is one of the reasons why when I do any sessions, I don't read out whatever is written. I try to explain it to you all so that you can understand. Understanding is more important. And one of the reasons why conclusion or ongoing conclusion or everlasting conclusion or terminating conclusion is very important for a company. Bipin conducts a dip check. Is that the conclusion of our evaluations? No. It's conclusion for that particular time. Then Bipin does another dip check in 2 weeks' time. So we come to another conclusion. A person who's on 5 may move on to 7. But that conclusion at that particular point of time, 5 or 4 or 3 in that dip check, gives us a conclusion of how much we have to work on that particular person, or what is the areas of improvement for that person. Or likewise, if a person has got 9, we have to understand what makes him tick. Use that in some other people. You take up the best practices. So if we have 2 children, one child has a bad habit, one child has a good habit, you've got to take the good habit from that the child which does good. Share it with the child who has some bad habits. Tell him, see, your brother's doing this. Share and conclude at that particular point of time. But remember, conclusions shift. Conclusions are not always is not concrete. They shift. But it helps you to think. Because the moment you stop thinking as a supervisor, it is very, very bad for your team. So when you're thinking positively, optimistically, you're donning the white hat. You're wearing the white hat. You are using data, you are using circumstances to find out and to determine what is right.
I want to add something regarding the using data. So when you use data, you stay in a neutral place because data are data, facts are facts. If I want to link this to feedback, when you go to a person and you want to say something, you start by facts, by laying down the facts. When you did this, or when I look at these numbers that shows me this information, it makes me feel like this, it influences the business like this. So data and facts are difficult to be contradicted. So it puts you in a neutral place as a supervisor. It shows that you have nothing against that person specifically, and you want to talk about their performance, which is a different thing. Decouple the behavior from the person, decouple the performance from the person. Don't think that if a person doesn't have a good performance as an editor, they are stupid. Never think that. Okay? It's tempting, but the data shows me that he is not performing as an editor. This doesn't mean that they are not valuable or they cannot perform in another role. So data puts you in the neutral place. And yesterday, I got a chance to talk with Abid a little bit about data manipulation. You can take the data and you can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
Depending on the intentions that you have. So do your best when you gather data as a supervisor. You will find yourself in the place where you will have preferred team members, people that you like genuinely, and people that you don't like. This happens to everybody. Or we all have our preferences. We have a good chemistry with somebody. Be careful when you have this data. When you gather the data, they show you objectively what is there. The interpretation of the data as a supervisor is a tricky thing to do. Because if you want to show and to give, if you like a person in your team and you want to give them more free passes, you will manipulate the data in this way.
So does that mean that we make some changes in the data?
It depends. You can do that without making changes in the data. It's just the way you present the data and the way you back up the data. Sometimes the data, when I'm looking you now, if I say thing like this, if I say the following information, Abid team, Abid Arshad team, we work in a factory and they produce in average 10 pieces per hour. This is data, 10 pieces per hour. Good. Now I can manipulate this data. How? Comparing it with another team.
I see.
Georgi's team is making 9 pieces per hour. I have two sets of data. In Abid's team, I can say the average is 10 pieces per hour, but I have people that do 20 and I have people that do 2 pieces per hour. If I show this information with I have the data, but me as a supervisor, I choose not to show. By not showing the information with 20 and 2, I protect the one that do 2 pieces per hour. Because I have a prejudice in my head that they need protection, you know. I have a preference. So when you are a supervisor, you can have personal preferences because we are all people, of course, and it's not to judge. But be very careful how you project those personal preferences on your team. Do not choose sides. You are there to be neutral. Look at the data and think on the long term. You are there for a long time. The team that you will prepare, this is the team that you will have. If you choose to hide a bad performance, or you choose not to reward the good performance because you think that that person, I don't know, you don't like their style, this will come to haunt you then. So be very careful about your choices. This is what I want to say when manipulating the data. Data is king, but if are manipulated correctly and with good intentions. If they are not in this way, they mean nothing. Okay? This is my experience with data. So
let me explain this in an example form. I'll give an example. I have Abid Arshad and Georgi in my team. Now the Bipin has conducted a dip test. I don't like Abid Arshad. So when Abid Arshad, I'm giving feedback. You know, Abid, you got only 7 in your dip check. This is unacceptable. But what I did not tell Abid Arshad, you got 7 out of 10. You get me? This is unacceptable. You're not doing well for the day because I don't like him. Now, Georgi got 2 out of 10. Georgi, you got 2, buddy. But don't matter. You will have another. It was just 2 out of 10. So you got 20%. You know, you got 20%, but our acceptable rate is 50%. So Georgi, you just have to come up the curve 30% more. So do a little bit more hard work. So how did it's just an example. How you use your emotions or how you use your perceptions in your team. Guys, the first thing that I would like to tell all of you all is even if you don't like somebody in your team, never let it be evident.
True.
Never let it be evident. Don't let your emotions run you. Try to be as neutral as possible. I know it is difficult. I may say it, Ella may say it. It's very difficult. You will definitely have somebody who's favorite. You will definitely have somebody who you don't like. I'm not mincing my words, but don't let that cloud your judgment. Now, coming back to about thinking about positive values, Arun, you read this sentence now. Abid read it earlier. Now
Okay,
you
fine.
read the yellow hat.
Abid, just excuse me for 1 minute. I have a one out of this context question. Basically, we have we are hiring right now, and we have one candidate who has a MacBook. And right now we don't have portal, or we don't have like photo group portal for MacBook. So
Yeah.
should we hire that candidate or not?
I think, Sahil, this is something Lewis is working on. So as
So
far as
it
none-
depends on the time, how much time we will take. Because if we want to reschedule the hiring after when we get the portal, then it will be great. Otherwise, we have to just carry the
I
baggage
got
Okay,
till the time.
Sahil, this is a decision. What do you need to take this decision? What information do you need?
I basically need the information about the portal, that how soon we will be ready for the Photoguru portal for Maxis.
Okay,
okay. So we can confirm with Lois this.
exactly. So yeah, let's drop an email to Luis exactly with this information and to on, guys. I need to know. I have a brilliant candidate. I want to hire him, but he will not be able to work but he will be able to work, but not with Photoguru portal. He can do training just fine, working with the Drive, right?
Yeah, right. But not on the live jobs.
Right. So until the live jobs is 4 to 6 weeks. So let's hear the answer from Luis, and we will take a decision based on that.
No, Ella, right now we have only 4 weeks of training coming up because we are hiring experience, so we have only 4 weeks maximum.
Good. Okay. Even better. Okay. 4 weeks. 4 weeks, it's a long time to change the situation. So can you drop an email to Owen about that?
Yeah, I'll sit with David, Arshad, and we'll talk.
Okay, good.
Sahil, your question was on the dot and directly similituding what is there on the screen right now.
Positive value.
Positive value. Identify and finding value, benefits, ideas, suggestions, or potential solutions.
So I didn't waste the time of SGP. Yeah.
See, I'm a smart supervisor of yours. I can take anything you give me and I can make a good thing about of it. So you have to buy me a burger right now.
The
Because
burger is not
I
good
have
for
been
health. I'll buy
considerate
an
about
apple.
you. Anyway,
I'll buy an
Can I
apple.
read it? How would I?
yeah, please go ahead, read it.
Okay.
Arun.
Positive value, identify and finding the value, feasibility and benefits in ideas, proposal, suggestion, or potential solutions. A mind shift from idea killer habit of knocking ideas down as soon as they are suggested.
A couple of minutes back, Ella talked about, not liking people in your team. Now, Abid is again a supervisor. Abid Arshad, he doesn't like. Georgi, he likes. Georgi comes up and says, Abid, you know what? I said, what? He says, the best thing for our company is, we hire 50 this thing and this thing and this thing, and we give it to everybody. And because Abid likes Georgi, Abid says, oh, wow. Georgi, what a solution. What a suggestion. Georgi, you're my favorite. Let's go to drink after work. And Abid gives a very valuable and a very precise suggestion. In a team meet, Abid, you know what? We should log in 15 minutes before our daily time, half an hour before our daily work schedule, to do this, to do that, to ensure that our work is not hampered. And what do I say? Abid, you don't know anything. You want us to spend 30 minutes or 1 hour more than what the company requires us? You're a fool. Keep quiet. You're dumb. So just because I have a dislike towards this man, for some reason, I do not take up a very inherent suggestion or advice that he is given. That is my negative mindset. That is my negative value.
This can be a cause, or another cause can be that myself as a supervisor, I tend to think negative all the time. One. Another can be I don't like other people in the team to have better ideas than me, because I think they are undermining me and they might want to replace me. So my own level of uncertainty and lack of capability and trust my own judgment and my own feelings is coming to, sorry for the expression, bite me in the in
the place.
in the behind, because, and I'm not able to do this. So the point is how it's written here on the screen. Build up
Even
on the other's ideas. I think this is the point, right?
it is. It is.
Yeah. So a good way to build up, which I learned from somebody, is this one. When I have an idea, or let's say Abid has an idea, and I want to build it up, I say yes, and I add up. So if your editor comes to say, I have an idea, instead of doing 20 jobs, 20 photos, let's do 15. And you think, yes, I like the idea. I think you say, yes, and I want to do 15 3 times per week. And he might say, yes, and build up, build up, build up, build up. Okay, it's a good way to build up. When somebody hears an yes, they instantly trigger, they agree with my idea. Okay? Yes, and remember those words. Yes, and it works with the wife as well. Yes,
Very
yes, and let's go to dinner tonight. Yes, and let's eat inside because it's cheaper. It is, yeah. So, okay, build up.
Always that. It's a very good suggestion, guys. Always build up. Always build up. It's not necessary that you can do that for work. You should be doing this even in your family life. If your husband or your wife, is saying things that you probably do not like, use this technique, what Ella has suggested. And yes, I agree. Yes, and believe me, it'll work wonders for you.
In this technique, the tricky part is if you start lying or go far away from yourself. So
True.
build up when you want to build up. I mean, if my son comes with the idea to watch 10 hours per day TV, I don't build up on his idea. Yes, and let's watch 12 hours per day. No, I say, no, the rules of the house say that we watch only 1 hour per day. And this is the same for your, because the editor might say, yes, let's drop the practice jobs. I don't like them. Yes, and let's not do work life as well, because life is good. No, you say the rules of the house are you have to do 40 images per day. Always come back to the facts. The first hat. The rules are 40 images per day. We have all together. This is a common effort. So, okay. So build up if you want to build up.
But do it genuinely.
Yes.
She's trying to say.
Of course. And if you feel if it's an idea that is trying to erode the company values or erode the house rules, like the kid might want TV all the time, you cannot build on that.
And you cannot say that to Owen all the time. Whenever Owen is saying something, and if you constantly give him back this answer, Owen says, we have to do this, use this. And Bipin says, yes, and so Owen may take that once or twice, and he may, come back with his repertoire.
Yeah, you will
careful.
Get the point. Yeah.
Sahil, you wanted to say something. You had raised your hand up.
No, before. Let it. I'm already done.
Okay. What was yellow? Because we are not going to do all the 6 today. We are doing only 3 today. We are going to do 3 next week, guys. Because this is a topic which is very big. For in sessions we have it usually takes 1 whole day, 8 hours or 7 hours of MDP, management development program, where 6 thinking hats are taught about. We are going to do only 3 today. So let me come back to the yellow. What was the yellow color, yellow hat, that indicator of that we learned earlier?
Positive.
Benefits.
Very good. How many remembered? How many forgot?
I remember.
benefits, good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benefits. This is a thing that happens quite frequently in our lives. We tend to forget easily. And it's a human tendency. It's not a drawback of, and it's not something to be ashamed of. We forget easily. That is why one of the things that I suggest to people to do is take notes in sessions. Make it a habit of writing notes. Haven't you seen Ella writing notes?
Yes.
Whenever we are talking or whenever we are discussing, Ella writes notes down.
Lot of notes.
Yeah. I do not
I
making
have-
notes.
I have a
But
black
I'm,
book, Sahil.
I'm not making notes, but I'm taking lots of pictures, not screenshots.
So we've
Okay.
learned about a white hat. We are talking about yellow hat. Can anybody guess which will be the next color hat?
Red.
Black.
Okay, black, red.
Green.
Anybody else? Green.
Green.
Anybody else?
Red. Black.
Georgi was right.
Oh,
Oh, Sahil said black. No, Georgi said black.
I said
Somebody-
green.
You said blue. Okay, so somebody said black. So, oh yeah, that is Sahil.
Black. It was me.
Black.
It was me.
See how smart my patta is, my guy is, my Sahil is. He knows me so well. He knows his supervisor so well.
I know your favorite color is black, and so is mine. So I know next will be black.
Great. Okay. So next would be read by Mikhail. Read the next. This.
Okay. Difficulties. So identifying all of the logical reasons why something might not work. To use this valuable information to design a project plan that will eliminate all the faults for taking actions, ensuring success. So that's it.
Mikhail, I've never said this to you, but let me tell you, if you ever decide to change your profession,
Yep.
you have a very good voice. You should either go into the voice industry, you should become an RJ in an FM channel. Use your
It's
voice.
not popular in Georgia. It's not popular in Georgia.
I don't
People
speak
do know
Georgian,
that.
but you can say that. You can use your
Yeah.
voice. Remember, to
Thanks.
have a good semi-baritone voice is a blessing.
No.
No, that's a
I
yellow
know
hat.
it. Sorry?
Right.
No, that's a yellow hat.
That's a yellow hat, definitely. For some people, yellow is a bad color
Mhm.
because it is one of the colors of excreta. I'm not going to go more in depth about it. It is something that the body passes out. So people thinking yellow is a bad color. No, yellow is a positive
on.
color.
It's the color
Yeah.
of the sun. How can it be associated with something else?
There are some people, believe me, Ella.
Okay, there are some people that are murderers, but
True.
in general, yellow it's an optimistic. It's the color of the sun. It's the color of
It is. It is the color of
Yeah,
life, in fact.
it's a great color. Okay, what about black hat? When Mikhail has read these thinking about keywords, what are the keywords that you see here?
Mm.
Negative.
No, that. Come on.
It's a
guys.
project plan. Project plan is
Okay.
everything needs planning, and take action about this plan.
Project plan for me is ensuring success.
Ensuring success is, remember, there are keywords in every sentence. It depends upon how you're looking at it. Team, do you know what is a kaleidoscope?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have been a child. You
Yes,
must have
yes.
seen a kaleidoscope. It's made of different items inside.
Yes.
But when I see it with my hand, when I lift it up and I see it, I will see a different figure. I give it over to Abid. Abid will lift it to his eyes, will see a different figure in it, because it constantly changes. Life constantly changes. Situations constantly change. What is a problem for probably me may be a matter of opportunity for Ella. One man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist.
Yeah.
Can be also an opportunity for you, Abid.
It could be.
What seems to be
Definitely.
a problem can be treated as an opportunity.
As an opportunity. Correct.
Mm.
So, guys, you have to understand why is the problem.
Mm.
The logical reasoning. That is the takeaway from this. You see an issue. I'll give you an example. In my team today, if I have 10 people and one of the persons is constantly getting sick, I will give him the required holidays or the leave, but I will try to fathom out the reason. I'll try to find out the reason. As a supervisor, this is expected from you to find the root cause. What is the reason why he's taking this? And if you can eradicate, you can take out the problem at the root cause. You will not have it again. It will not come up again.
So, black thinking hat, it can be, we started with the explanation that it can be it's associated with a negative thing, with lack of life or things like this. But if we read here, it says to identify problems, eliminate faults, and take action to ensure success. So basically, you look at the negative, you look at the potential negative that might happen. But again, remember about the intention as the feedback. The intention is very important. How you look at that negative? You look with the intention to come out of it and plan for it and fix it, or you look with the intention to just stay there in the negative, just to find excuses for the lack of success. I think I sent you on Slack, and I keep remember this. It says that winners make adjustments and losers make excuses.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
Yes,
exactly
I
what
agree.
that hat is thinking. It's showing you have to make adjustments. You see a possibility that something might go wrong, like a problem, like Abid says. See it as an opportunity to fix it. How can I fix this? Immediately move into the positive quadrant. Is it fixable? What do I need to fix it? Let's fix it. Abid says about finding the root cause. Of course, you can keep fixing a problem for years if you don't find the root cause. So that's also very valuable. Yeah. So this is, yes.
So guys,
yeah. So that's the way to. I think for me, this is the way to get it, to get this black hat into the positive side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think a normal human should always search positive in the negative, because this is
yes, but for some
it's
people it's
better.
really difficult. Georgi, for some people it's really difficult. Some people like to be victims and always find excuses. They feel really comfortable in this role because all our life we go into from victim, abuser, we go into this triangle, and we like this role because we can handle. It's a different topic, but some people really love excuses.
Yes.
Yeah, one
Yes,
of my
you're right.
bosses one of my bosses used to give me when he used to, long time back, he used to give a very good example about this, victim and abuser and instigator. So he used to say, people who think they are victims all the time, he used to be very honest about it. He said they are pigs. There are different types of people, try to explain in different methods. There are some people who try to give a person a jolt. Listen to me, as they say in German, Achtung, be careful. So this boss of mine, he used to, use these kind of words to help us think and to wake us up. He said, people who are constantly crying, people who are constantly thinking that their victims are pigs. And then we used to ask him, sir, why so? Because they like to always stay in the filth.
Yeah.
They never think about coming out of it.
Yeah, but
They're happy in the filth, in the mud that they are in.
Yeah.
yes, and to build up on Abid's point, yes, and they don't know
And-
any better. Think about this. They don't know any better.
Yeah.
So all our life,
One there in comfort zone, maybe.
yes. So we feel this triangle is of a victim, abuser, and savior. We take different roles, and think about the roles that you have in your life. You might be a savior in your work life. You want to save people, or in your personal life, and you might be a victim in others. So myself, for example, I have all three roles depending on the relationship I am in. Yeah. So but even for the person in your team, you immediately detect a person that is making adjustment, that wants to succeed, with the person that is just making excuses. The person that is making adjustment comes with a problem and say, I have identified this problem, and these are the possibilities, the possible solutions. A person that is making excuses, they just present to you the problem and they tell you why they got there. They never think how to get out. Never. Okay? So they like to be a victim, and they go always to the savior. Always. The supervisor is the savior. Always. And if the supervisor loves the savior role because it's strong, I saved you, he will go into that mechanism all the time to do the work for the guy. To save the guy. I do the work for you because I like to be saved, and the guys love to be the victim, and nobody progresses nowhere. 5 years, the same.
Always be the same place.
Yes.
Our time is nearly up. I will sum this up. We will do the other 3 hats next Thursday. So to sum it up, so we learned about blue hat, red hat, and green hat today, correct?
Yeah.
No.
White,
It's
yellow,
white, black, and yellow.
White, yellow.
white, yellow, black.
You are smart, Abid. I know your technique.
Yeah.
They are falling for it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. So we learned about 3 facets of thinking. We call it the different types of hats: the white hat, the yellow hat, and the black hat. Next week we will learn about the red hat, the green hat, and the most positive, the blue hat.
Blue.
And who's the person who invented this stratagem?
Bono.
Bono. Last name
Bono.
The singer.
The last name Bono.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Edward Di Bono. Edward Di
word.
Bono.
One.
I said you need Bono. Leonard.
See, this is 6 thinking hats, guys, and we'll touch base next week. And before we sign off, Bipin, Bipin Maharaj,
Yeah.
Iradao.
Yeah.
Give me 15 minutes. I'll join you. We have my training session now. Just give me 15 minutes. I'll quickly have my lunch and I'll join you.
Yeah, sure. Take your
Okay.
time.
I'll ping you in 15 minutes.